My name is Boom. I'm making this is one of my first videos. I'm making this video to kind of highlight to a guildmate how to build an arena speed team with some of the monsters that he has. So I'll go through it real quick. I want to show him, go through my monsters and show him kind of how to break into the Conqueror ranks, or kind of give him a vision of what he might see if he uses certain monsters in certain ways. So first, let's look at we'll look at the history. So I put in a bad defense so I could get down in rank a little bit, because I wanted to kind of break my way through fighter ranks and get up into Conqueror and look at people in the fighter 3 Conqueror type ranks and how this team works. Here to kind of see how it handles defense-wise. It's not my strongest team, but I do a lot of farming on arena, so I don't really mind too much about it. So I'm going to use Shimate, who is a highly underrated player out there. 24% arena leader, hits really hard, both single target and hits pretty good multiple target as well, and then reduces the attack with the multiple as well. So I mean, pretty much utility all around. Not many people use it, but a highly underrated player in my opinion. So then the other one, and these are all players that my guildmate has, is of course Galleon, is one of the best buffers, debuffers in the game. So if you have Galleon, Galleon's almost not replaceable in this. You could use some monsters like maybe Malaka, but then you don't get the attack buff. Everything is just kind of a compromise if you don't have Galleon. So Galleon's really nice for this type of a lineup. The other thing that a puller that I like to use, and I'm trying to recommend to some of my guildmates, is Pyrion. And Pyrion's actually my fastest monster right now. And the reason I like to use him is I don't have the greatest runes, and I can't get both speed and crit rate in any kind of meaningful way to do a lot of damage with my damage dealers when I only have a 30% pull from like Bernard or somebody like that. So I really need a 50% pull in order for the damage dealers to kind of do what they need to do on this. So even though Pyrion has a really low base speed on that, and that's why people don't like to use him, I still think he's worth it. We're using a 24% speed leader, so if you're using it on offense, you can choose not to go against other super fast speed leader. And then, of course, probably what we're going to need after this is, another AoE damage dealer. And then you have the typical setup of speed, puller, buffer, debuffer, damage dealers going together. So we're going to put in Lucian because he's a fairly common and a good one. So that's going to be what the runes are like, and that they aren't very good at this point. They're probably, I'm not the greatest player myself. I can usually hang in maybe Conk 2 if I work at it. But these are my, 6th or 7th best, like, kind of rune sets. So they're not my best. I just kind of want to give an example of what this is going to look like. So let's look at Lucian first. Rage Blade on it. It's only 5-star attack percent. Not awesome subs on that. That one's pretty good subs on that one. I like that one. Speed and hit point, but no crit rate. Again, not fantastic subs on this. At least it's a 6-star. This one's decent. That one's pretty good rune. This one's decent. Obviously, you want more speed. And that one's pretty good too. So I guess it's not too bad of runes. It's medium level runes. I would say mid-game runes on this. So if you look at it, you can see he has a lot of attack power, not really quite the crit rate that you want. So we might not always get the damage we want on our cards. We'd need to work on either getting grindstones to get that up or things like that. But this should give us a good idea on that one. The other one I want you to look at is Shimate. Just Rage Shield on this one because I had some shield runes on this one. So probably again what I would call medium level runes. I have speed on this one because I needed her to get to some kind of a decent speed. Him, I always forget on these ones whether it's male or female. Alright. So that's the team. Let's go see what it can do. Okay, we'll just do a refresh here. And just kind of look at the list. And probably just go down it. So no speed leader here. We should be fast enough, and I predict we should be able to take this no problem. See, now the nice thing about Shimate, and normally I would want it to go after Lucian if I was like trying to design my team around this. But the nice thing about Shimate is I have both an AoE spell and a hard single target spell. So depending on the team I'm going against, there aren't anything that's too strong on here. Of course, the Monkey King could be a defense one, but since it's mainly weak, I'm going to go for the AoE on this. You can see my cards are doing in the high 6,000s. It's nothing spectacular. So this one's going to be fast. It's got a 24%. Okay, so we were faster. It really depends at what rank you're at and whether you think you're going to be faster or not. So now this one's an interesting question. Should I use the too soon? Soon and try to make sure I kill all of them. Okay, exactly. Ideally you would have stunned there, but now it's just cleanup at this point. I know you only have 5-star on Galleon and Purian. I would recommend kind of getting that up as well because it's going to make the difference. You're going to need Galleon and Purian in this one especially to hit Chloe's. I mean, so many people use Chloe's and your wind monsters are not going to do fabulous against Chloe's. One thing I hate about this is I can never hit the auto button when I'm recording. And really also, I don't know, I mean, if it's possible, the way to really get into Conqueror ranks 2 is to do arena fast. And if you're doing your arena in the last 20 minutes and doing it fast, then that's much better for arena so that the people have only a little bit of chance to revenge you on those. And if you're like me and don't mind refilling energy on it, then you know, you can refill 2 or 3 times in the last hour. Actually, I don't think I can show you guys here, but the other thing that is unique about my account compared to a lot of accounts is I've done a lot of arena point farming. So some of my monsters get pretty good buffs from my arena towers. In this one, I think I'm just going to go overall. Second skill. But I like that about Shimate in that I can choose to do a medium level AoE or a strong nuke. Now, if she didn't have speed in her 2 slot and she had more of an attack setup, that powerful single target attack is going to do, you know, 45k probably. So, I mean, you can effectively use it to take out a person if they have a defense break on them. So now this is one that, you know, maybe gives a little bit of trouble. I in particular, don't like Kamar. Kamar might be one that you end up playing enough and you say, is that somebody I can take on? And you might just decide to skip some of the ones with Kamars, especially if they have like Kamar and Chloe. Your other option that you have that I obviously can't show you is you have Okeanos too. So probably want to have Okeanos pretty good, well runed up, and you can put him in right in place of Lucian for any fire comps. Listen, I probably should, because there's so many healers. I'm going to do a nuke on it, and I think I'm going to try to hit Rutesh and see if we can knock Rutesh out after Lucian hits him. Because I don't have the best runes. I mean, normally this would just be, Shimate can KO him there, but since I don't have the best runes, I have to make do with what I have. But this is probably a lineup that you would say, oh, I'd never attack this guy. So do I stun? Do I try to stun Kumar, or do I try to go for... And I get stunned. This glancing hit is not, I mean, that's pretty nice. That helps too. Okay, so now when it's 4-on-1, it's easier. Everybody's waiting for the buff. Game over. The other thing that people who don't use this comp do not realize is that both Tyrion and Galleon, you have a super fast Tyrion and he can stun, and Galleon has an attack bar knockback, things like that. And those things can help out. Because you're going to need your Galleon to take out a lot of Chloes, I would absolutely ruin your Galleon just speed just ahead of your pullers, and then as much attack as you can, because you're going to need that damage to kill the Chloes. So again, this might be one that you say that's pretty strong comp. Maybe we should go against it. So I think that's at least 3 hits of over, like, in the mid 3000s. So I mean that AoE is not, a bad little attack to everybody who has defense break on, especially when you're buffed. So it's, it's nice too. Okay, so now just wanted to give you that kind of tasting. Actually, let's see if we can go down to one of the upper guys, see what they're looking at. And you can see we're already, past rank into rank like 8,000 or something like that. Didn't really have to worry about anybody. Again, he's not running a speed leader on this, so we might be able to take this team. Let's just see what happens if we go against one of the higher ranked teams. Load time, gotta love it. What's going to happen here? Oh. I'm scared to do this, but I think I'm going to try to do it against a Perna and just hope that I don't glance. Oh, glanced, of course. Alright, so Perna down. Perna down! Well, we have enough firepower to take this out. Get up. Another. Need to worry about a defense break. So again, you can see this team, but it's so key on getting out ahead of them. If you move first, you can do some things. If you don't move first, then you might get stuck. So that's part of the key onto it. If anybody wants to see, kind of compare it to my A team, this is my best team, and you can see what this looks like. So is what I might do on rune day is take like some of these, or determine even on my rune day what my updated best runes are, and put them on like this team. Up level runes. I would never say that I have near in-game runes, because there are people with way better runes than I have. And this is why this team works, is because it just hits so hard. I mean, you can see here Trinity hits, 20,000 on a lot of them. Almost takes them out herself. That I don't know if they had Nemesis, if they interrupted or what, but I'm not really too worried about it, because Tosi hits even harder. There's just nothing you can do against that team if I go first. It's hard, unless you have will runes, of course. Okay, thanks everybody. I hope this gives you inspiration, Chief. If I can figure out how to turn it off.